Selma is here, was here, says hi. Cat says, like number one, appreciate that, Cat. Cat says, hey, I don't have my glasses. Is that Little Red Riding Hood walking through the forest? That was tired Red Riding Hood, attempting to run up a side of a mountain to finish the very first 100-mile race that happened today, 10 years ago. Let's see, Solcer says, see you all soon. So, guys, I went to upload some beaver videos from my camera, and I saw that everything was uploaded. So I deleted the ones that I uploaded, only to see a warning sign come on from my camera saying not everything was uploaded. So I lost, I think, like 10 beaver videos. Pretty sad, because it took me 2 years to track that beaver and finally get some good shots. Life works that way. Selma says, hi. Hey, Selma. Nice to see you. Someone says, I'm going to my ex-boyfriend's house today. Well, if you think that's a good idea, of course, it's not for me to say otherwise. Sister says, we love our beavers. We do. Someone says she feels a little bit better. I'm glad you feel better. Give me 1 second, guys. Here is the Native American traditions. Beavers are revered for industriousness, resourcefulness, and ability to create thriving ecosystems. They are seen as symbols of creativity, perseverance, community, and harmonious living with nature. But they are also viewed as examples of how to use natural gifts wisely and build a life that aligns with one's vision. Nice. Someone says I'm lazy. I'm a little lazy too. And hi, Star. Hi, Cat. I miss you so much. We're all here for you, my friend. Let's see. Xerox 007? 0007? I know I probably mangled that completely. I heard some time ago to have a stress-free life is to have no attachments. Interesting. Um, I don't know if I necessarily agree. I don't know if I necessarily disagree. The Buddha had talked about to free ourselves from suffering is to free ourselves from attachment is to be free of suffering. However, stress is a little different. You can be stressed and not suffer from stress. You can experience stress and not be attached to stress, and you're free. Does that make sense? Then you add a whole nother level of suffering when you attempt to disassociate or eliminate anything from your life. I'm going to have a stress-free life, so I'm going to give up all my attachments. Now you just created an underlying level of stress because you're going to have attachments in life. But can you hold those attachments lightly? Now we're getting somewhere. Let's see. Zyrex, let me know how close I am to getting that right. Says, sub, I love you live and you. Well, thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. Someone says, hi, Evan. Change your profile picture. Well, let's take a look. Cat says, hello, friends. Hey, Cat. Cat, how's your day going? There it is. That's a lovely photo. Evan says, my girlfriend is being bossy. Let me ask you a question. Do you need to be bossed around a little bit? Sometimes people step up and do what needs to be done. Sometimes we need to be bossed around a little bit. And sometimes we don't. Sources says, so do Cat and Jack. Someone says, I look beautiful. You do look beautiful. Hey, Daisy. Daisy says, hi, Yogi. Watching ads. See you soon. Thank you, my friend. Someone says, hi, Daisy May. Hey, Chris. Chris says, so Yogi and everyone. Chris, how are you? So here's something. I was going to type it in the comment. What's up, Big Al? Big Al says, good evening, everyone. Big Al, how are you? Daisy says, hi to Cat and Jack. Let me see if I can type this in the chat. My typing skills aren't all that great, but I want to see. It's a pretty important quote, and it has to do with what Evan was saying. Big Al says, I'm good, Yogi. Did you see my short? I did not see your short. Do you want to share the link for it, Big Al? Daisy says, hi, Soul. Hey, Song Ahead. 1 second, guys. One second. I'm going to pin the comment. This is from Ron Doss, so you know it's going to be good, guys. There it is from Big Al. Going to bring it up real quick. So feel free to discuss that quote. Did you see my reaction? It was actually physical shock to be confronted with original mushy peas high in protein right off the bat. It's like it's a good thing that you left the no comment section up. However, I did give it a thumbs up. Big Al says, I'm disappointed he didn't see it, Yogi. You're tagged in it. You know what? I don't always get all the tags that I'm tagged in. I apologize. However, I just watched it now. And like I said, I had a very physical reaction to it. Everyone is saying hi. Chris says, I'm good, Yogi. How are you? I'm doing pretty good. I'm a little disappointed that I lost some of my shots of beaver, as well as a duck that was very joyfully taking a bath. I love seeing animals clearly displaying joy. You need to watch it. Yogi will be happy. Happy was not the thing. I did watch it. You didn't, like I said, you didn't see my my shock. Oh, when I get a chance, watch it with sound. I can do that now. Hold on, guys.
I'll get enough of them. He's just, yeah, he's in love with mushy peas. Here's a video of just a Yogi doing burpees in his basement. because we all know he loves mushy peas. He can't get enough of them. He's just, yeah, he's in love with mushy peas.
Yeah, the sound definitely added to it. We'll see if this goes viral, Big Al. Soul Stars is laughing. Let's see. Chris says, I know what happens. I'm glad you got to see it through, though, Yogi. Thank you. Took me 2 years to close the gap from my first sighting of the beaver. I actually waited 20 for the beaver to come back, beavers to come back. My homeowners association. Hey, Simon. Homeowners association got rid of them 20 years ago. Protested that, but they made their way back. And it looks like people are going to leave them alone finally. So my first sighting was about 2 years ago, and I've been patient. I've been waiting. Finally, right place, right time, right camera. I still have some. Simon says, Miss Yogi and community. Sorry, guys. I have salvage suppression and love mushy peas. You think there's a connection? I wonder. Simon, it's good to have you back, my friend. So says, who knew mushy peas could create a paradigm shift? I suspected. Big Al says, there's another one to come because I've had those peas with my meal just now. I recorded it. I'll upload it before the 10 p.m. stream. I like to say I'll be looking forward to it. I'll be looking forward to it with some trepidations. So says, hi, Sai. Someone says, live and let live. So says, I have a hard time listening to sirens. Man, I have them all the time here. Sunghan says, nice shirt. Yogi, thank you. This is from a gym in Nags Head, North Carolina. And it's probably 26 years old, 27 years old, maybe. This shirt is probably older than many people in the chat. This shirt is almost as old as Big Al. Big Al, oops, I read that. Soulstar says, I'll be selling logs by 10 p.m. Me too. What time zone are you in, Soulstars? Simon says, my go-to stream when my head is like a shed. I appreciate you being here. So I do want to talk about that quote up top. Karen says, so hope you're doing well. Thank you, Karen. Me too, Soulstars. I know you go to bed pretty early too. I try to turn my computer off around 7-ish, and I'm in bed by 7:30. I read for a little bit. I get rid of all computer stuff, all electronics. Usually asleep, hopefully asleep by 8. But then I'm up anywhere between 2 and 2:30. If all goes according to plan. So the pin quote, spiritual people are just as neurotic as the rest of us, but to them, their neurosis is irrelevant. People like to think, we like to think, man, once I reach this high level of spirituality, once I reach this level of consciousness, when my meditation practice finally deepens, when I become an advanced student of A Course in Miracles, when my yoga guru says I'm awakened, we won't have any issues. We won't have any problems. And this is what Evan, the thing that he asked, and he had read that to be stress-free, you have to give up your attachments. I don't find that helpful. I don't find that thought helpful. Because guess what? In this lifetime, chances are we're not going to give up our attachments. But we can't hold those attachments lightly. In this lifetime, we're probably not going to eliminate all of our neuroses. Or is that neurosis I? Neurosis is. But we can make them irrelevant, meaning they happen, they appear. We're okay with it. I'm okay being weird. I'm okay being bald. I'm okay being everything that I am. But I have moments where I'm not. I have moments where my own issues suddenly confront me, and I think I wish it was otherwise. I would still be in some relationships, save for the fact of me being me. It's a sobering thought because I've had people say, you know, I love you, but I'm leaving. I love you, and I'm will always be in love with you. And it's not that there's any one thing that that I am or do or whatever, but I'm really I'm bent differently, as most of us are. Probably more towards a solitary lifestyle, which I'm okay with, but sometimes I'm not okay with. So that's the thing. We just accept ourselves as we are, and at the same time, make some necessary changes. I like being accommodating to the people that I'm with. At the same time, I know I have to honor my own journey that calls for me to spend some time um, in silent retreat, getting up early. We find that happy medium in life. Fortunately, not everyone is as weird as I am. Good news for the rest of you. Big Al says, I don't struggle to work out the time now, Yogi. Easiest way to remember is that you're 5 hours behind. Yep, I take that in consideration too. Oh well, Big Al says my godfather's 8 hours behind. He lives in Tucson, Arizona. I like Arizona. One of my favorite states to visit. This also says yes, it must be no slipping 8 p.m. at the latest to beat the 4 a.m. alarm. Smart. This also says there is this attack on the spiritual community as it's riddled with low-level spirits like excessive judgments, rants, gossip, drama, guilt, and shame. We can love and continue on, says Chris. Yes, I agree, Soul Stars, that this is why I'm largely not in um, spiritual community or a yoga community or even Course in Miracle communities. Uh, there's can often be, but not always, an out spiritual. I will be more spiritual than you. I will, I'm above this type of behavior. I can promise you, I'm not above anything. Um, I still make so many mistakes I used to make, and I've been practicing A Course in Miracles for over 30 years. I've been meditating for 35 ish, seriously. And I meditated longer for that, but not quite as serious. The difference is I make the mistakes and I'm less intense with my self punishment. I'm more okay. Sometimes, as we discussed with Kat and Jack, sometimes we choose the wrong teacher. Course in Miracles says we have two teachers. We have the voice of the ego, which is always loud, always speaks first, and always makes demands, is always sitting in judgment and setting lines in the sand. I dare you to cross because when you do, I will punish you somehow. I'll give you the silent treatment. I will judge you. I will punish you. I will do something, but you'll know that you crossed that line. And then you have the voice, what the Course calls the Holy Spirit. You can call it the Tao. Talk about that all the time. Whatever you're comfortable with. And it's always soft, always whispers, or it's silent. It urges and prompts to be kind, to forgive, to extend yourself in love. It holds everything without judgment. Everything. Every single thing. So sometimes, with practice, when we're fortunate, we choose the right teacher. And life is so easy and so smooth. We are so loving and we are so kind. But often, maybe very often, we choose the wrong teacher. And we make some mistakes for ourselves and in relationships. But guess what? It's okay to choose the wrong teacher, especially now, because now we realize, hey, Michael, now we realize we're choosing the wrong teacher. So I says, my ego is a selfish slob. Here's the good news. You're not your ego. The ego isn't who you are. It's an appearance that has gained belief that it is you, but it isn't. Michael says, how you doing, friend? I'm doing good, Michael. Chris says, none of us are perfect. You got that right, my friend. And at the same time, so it says, general coping strategy when life gets overwhelming. Relax. 100% relax. Just accept that right now, you feel overwhelmed. Relax and accept are the exact same thing. One voice says, shame, shame, shame. What are we being shamed for? What are you being shamed for? So it says, I've been just as accountable in this. When we realize it, we can change it. Absolutely. Big Al says, I only shame Yogi for not liking mushy peas. I can be forgiven. Yes, you can be forgiven. It's not going to come easy. That might be my greatest forgiveness lesson. But Big Al, you and I, we're going to be okay. It might take some time. It might take some time, but we're going to be okay, my friend. We're going to get through this. Relaxing and acceptance are synonymous. One of my favorite words. Chris says, and that's okay. Yes. So Suzuki Roshi, the great Zen master, came to America in the 1950s, wrote Zen Mind, Beginner's Mind, gave a talk at, I believe, the University of Minnesota. It could be mistaken, to a group of psychotherapist students. And he was received warmly, okay, not enthusiastically, with a little bit of like smirking. What is this Zen master going to come in and offer us, these great spiritual lessons? But we are scientists. We're soon to be therapists. And he looked around the room and he looked at the students. He made eye contact and he said, each and every one of you are absolutely perfect the way you are right now without having to change a thing, which caused them all to smirk a little deeper, giggle, elbow each other. That's what they expect a Zen master to say, right? You're perfect. And then he looked at them again and said, and you could use a little bit of help, which made them seriously laugh, but in a good-natured way, because now they were like, he understands. They were a little shocked too. First rule of Buddhist psychology, embrace your inner nobility. You're a Buddha, awakened. You're already enlightened. You just don't know it. So I says, just keeping it together with mindfulness breathing. We're always here if you ever want to do breath work, Simon. You can send me an email and I'll do it with you one-on-one. Whenever I'm able to, I will do it with you one-on-one. takes 3 minutes out of my day. Honestly, it's absolutely no big deal. No big deal. Michael says I lost your contact. Sorry for that. That's okay, Michael. Big Al says, I think I'm funny. I'm always making myself laugh. I'm always making myself laugh too. I am my best audience by far. Chris says, hi to Big Al. Thank you, Chris. Chris said she sent a membership to Life with Andrea. Thank you so much. I really like the membership gifting. Such a nice gift all the way around. It gives someone an opportunity to visit the channel and see if they like it. And it certainly makes me feel good. Semper says, greetings, Raven. Raven says, so one and all. Hey, Raven. So I've mentioned before, I mentioned in the past, I've talked about my own struggles with depression. Never, thank you so much, Chris. Chris says, thank you, Yogi, for your peaceful nature. Let me reply. Thank you so much, Chris. I deeply appreciate that kindness, my friend. Sooner or later, I will spell much correctly. It's not that I'm misspelling it, as I'm mistyping it over and over again. Thank you. Sniper says, sorry, I was walking Cosmo, and Original said, greetings, and then hit a dead zone with signal. It's okay. Chris says, spreading that was kindly given to me. That's the way to do it. Circulation. Marianne Williamson wrote a book based upon some principles of A Course in Miracles, Divine Compensation, and she talks about the law of circulation. You want to be abundant, demonstrate abundance. You want to be peaceful, demonstrate, teach peacefulness. Course in Miracles says that we teach what we most need to learn. Big Al says, I was told that a good comedian doesn't laugh at his own jokes. Every comedian I've watched must be terrible then, because they all laugh at their own jokes. I think it depends on the comedian too, right? Anna says, hi, Yogi. Hi, everyone. Hi, Anna. So, yeah, my depression, never as bad as some others. My mom had pretty bad depression. Didn't know it for most of her life. We knew it. We didn't have a label or a term for it until later. Raven says, so to Big Al. For me, wouldn't it have been interesting if she had been elected? It would have been. I like Marianne Williamson. I like the fact that people wanted to establish a Department of Peace. Why do we think that peace will ever come through warfare? It hasn't. In the history of the world, warfare has never worked in bringing peace. It has postponed fighting for a bit. It's given us an opportunity to switch enemies, but it's never brought peace. Not real peace. Not that big sigh of relief where I have no enemies. When I first started getting serious with my YouTube channel, I was presented with stark choices of people coming to me and saying, here's my enemies list. These are the people I don't like. And I expect you, not in so many words, but I expect you not to like them too. If they come here, I'm leaving. And hey, Jamie, I thought about that. I meditated because I really like these people, and they were big supporters of my channel. They helped me get monetized. But in the end, I had to say, I'm not taking sides. And I don't mean that in saying that I'm out of it. You guys fight amongst yourselves. What I mean is, no one can tell me who I'm supposed to love and who I'm not supposed to love. We can talk a big talk of unconditional loving, but when it comes to putting it in practice, we got to practice it. And when you're given an opportunity to practice, don't choose, well, this person has given me all the support, so I have to choose them. I love that person. I love those people, and I always will. But I'm not going to exclude anyone for the sake of exclusion. Now, if they came in here and attacked, that's a different story. But that never happened. Those who did come in and were set to attack either stopped attacking or they left without any interference on my part. Doesn't mean that occasionally someone won't be timed out. Maybe they will. Everything's on the table, but that's not my first choice isn't to say, well, you are this kind of person because I was told you were this kind of person, and now, sorry, you're not welcome here. If you want to have a welcoming community, guess what you got to do? You got to welcome. Chris says, I totally agree, Yogi. So yeah, I'd rather, Mother Teresa, and thank you, Chris. Mother Teresa was asked on an interview years ago. This was during the Vietnam War. If she would lead, how come she didn't take part in demonstrations against the war? And if she would lead one, if she would help start a movement to protest and end the Vietnam War? And she said no, which shocked everyone. And they asked her, well, why not? You're against the war, right? And she said she's not against anything. She is for peace. She's giving her energy to peace. And if anyone wanted to start a movement and a march for peace, she would join it. She would lead it. Hey, Amlada, how are you, my friend? Amlada Dream Girl, one of my favorite channels to say out loud. Amlada Dream Girl. Big Al says I don't talk politics unless someone else brings it up. I have some views, opinions of the world that many don't like. Well, you and I have covered politics lightly, a little bit. Just a little. I generally don't talk politics either. Big Al says, how's things to Jamie Brown? So that's my channel. Sniper says, it's not designed to, or is about moving vast amounts of money about. Agreed. And power. Well, no, let me switch that. For those who've read David Hawkins, he makes a clear distinction between power versus force. And we've confused the two. Power is gentle. It doesn't need to be defended. Force is an entirely different matter. So, if I want my channel to be for peace, which I do, then I can't be at war with another channel just for the sake of being at war with another channel. Even saying that sounds ridiculous, doesn't it? And I don't have to take everything personally. We don't have to take everything personally. Has anyone ever read The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz? Sosa says, yes, it does sound ridiculous. I want my channel to be a reflection of my life. I want my life to be a reflection of my channel. I don't want to draw lines and make distinctions. Big Al says, Yogi, many think my views are based on ignorance, but because they don't know me, they don't know I've done things, experienced things, so it's easier to avoid the subject unless my opinion is wanted. I understand that, Big Al. Hey, even though it was brief and we only addressed it lightly, I enjoyed our political conversation that we had. And it says, yes, it's a good book, Yogi. The Four Agreements. It is. Don't take anything personally. You can test someone. I don't recommend testing anyone, but you know, if someone says that I practice four agreements and you say that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard, and they get offended, they take it personally. It's hard to practice those four things. I like the fact that it's four and it gives you a very basic premise. Don't take anything personal. Don't make assumptions. Always do your best. Be impeccable with your word. But here's the key. When we say don't take anything personally, don't take your very often inability to take things personally. That's what I meant with Simon about relaxing. Sometimes you're going to get it just right. But there's those other times, and they seem to be very frequent, where you don't. It's okay. It's okay to not get it right. Choose again. There's so many lines in Course in Miracles that I could say sum up the Course in Miracles perfectly. I could choose peace instead of this. Maybe my favorite is, do I wish, and we talked about this, another great conversation with Big Al. Would I rather be happy or right? Big Al says, hi, Anna. Sorry, I forgot to say hi. Let me know if I've missed any comments. So, at this point in my life, Big Al says, me too, Yogi. It was an equal and fair conversation. It was. You know, we live in a very divided time politically. I've had family members unfriend me on Facebook. I had a cousin who, my grandfather was the first forest ranger in a state forest in northern Pennsylvania. He was a state renowned hunter, training hunting dogs. He'd rather be hunting than anything else. And man, I got a huge family in Pennsylvania. Really big, and all of them hunt. My dad moved from there. My dad stopped hunting when he came back from World War II. He was out in the woods carrying his rifle, wasn't really hunting, but back then, and especially if, you know, his godfather was the game warden, his father was a forest ranger. So, you know, if they saw something they wanted to shoot, they shot it. My father saw a fox and he shot it. And he walked up to the fox and he thought, why did I do that? I love foxes, they're beautiful. Never hunted again. Never had a desire. Now, he was not anti hunting, it just wasn't for him. When I became a vegan, I had a cousin, a hunter, sent me a message on Facebook and said, one of us took a bad bump down the family tree, and it wasn't him, meaning it was me, for being a vegan. I'm not anti hunting, I'm not anti fishing. Some of my best YouTube friends and favorite channels are in the fishing community and the hunting community. They do it right, they're kind. But it's just not for me. And they respect that. None of them ever have given me a hard time. But, you know, again, my own family member. I've never told anyone to be vegan. I never say this is the way to do things. This is the way for me to do things. So it's the same with politics. You don't have to think like me. You don't have to vote like me. You don't have to believe the same things I believe. You don't have to be a student of the Course of Miracles. You don't have to meditate. You don't have to do breath work. I have a preference. My preference is I would prefer if you were kind. And I got to say, everyone who comes here and hangs out is kind and has a kind channel as well, which is important to me. I love that. And I love places of kindness. Nature's Dog Realms. You know, I often mention channels, and if you got to give them a label, um, like Nature's Dog Realms, Daisy May, Cat and Jack, Toy Pups, Tundra. I can easily say that they are emotional health channels. They provide a great service without even trying to provide a great service. They provide a space just to be, just to hang out and to laugh. But they're also places of kindness, which I love, and I will support them always, forever. Daisy says, Yogi, you're so kind, my friend. Thank you. And that's what I want my channel to be. You guys set a perfect example. Let's see, Big Al says, that's the part I meant about equal and fair, Yogi. I didn't force my views on you, and you didn't force your views on me. It was a mature discussion between adults. If only politicians could do the same. Exactly. Cat is sending love. Thank you, Cat. So my hope would be, can you guys see your channel that way too? And I hope you do. I think you do. Soul Star says 100. Soul Stars, I include you in that group, my friend. Anna says hi to Daisy May. As well as our friend Dolly. Yeah, a few years ago, I drew my own line in the sand. I'd gotten this wrong. Sniper actually helped me figure out exactly who it was. He allegedly said this. Cortez burned his ships. And when his soldiers said, well, what's going to happen if we need to flee? We need those ships. And that was the point. There's no retreat, no surrender. Several years ago in my life, and then most definitely on my YouTube channel, I decided I'm drawing that line. I'm burning my ships. I'm going to live a life of unconditional kindness, including being kind to myself when I find myself inadvertently being unkind. And I'm going to practice it. I love, if you've hung out here for a bit, you know how much I love the word practice. It means you don't have to get it right. Just practice. Practice forgiveness. Practice being kind. Practice unconditional love. What a perfect opportunity when you get it wrong to practice kindness towards yourself. We got some love from Raven. Thank you, Raven, my friend. Chris says, thank you, Yogi. Thank you, Chris. So, yeah, I was talking about depression, my own and others. And what shifted for me wasn't the end of depression. And again, for me, very light in comparison to others that I know, that I'm close to. Someone that I'm very close to who would literally spend days in bed with depression. The kind of depression where you don't try to cheer someone up because you know there isn't, you don't cheer someone up with depression. When the opportunity presents itself, you hold someone with depression. And when the opportunity doesn't present itself, you give them the space they need, but it's a loving space, a tenderness. I will be there when you're ready on this level. When you're not ready, I will be there on this level, but I will always be there. The shift for me was coming to the realization that, you know what, it's okay to be depressed. It was my continuous pushing it away and trying to make it something other. I don't want to be this. I don't want to be this. I don't want to be this. Why am I so different? Why am I whatever? That was causing me more misery than the depression it was. And when I realized that, everything lightened up, got easier. I could literally, although sometimes bitter sweetly, smile my way through depression. Jovan says, hey, remember me? Jovan, my friend, I don't. Not offhand, I apologize. I'm a long time ago. How long are we talking about, my friend? And welcome back. Appreciate it. I'm subscribed to you, though. Let's see, did I miss anyone else? So, hey, Neokabi. I do practice that. It's so much easier to say Susan. You would think it would be so much easier to say Susan, but guess what? I will, I will mispronounce that too eventually. You guys will be here for that. Jovan says mom doesn't feel great. I'm sorry about that, Jovan. Prayers to you, mom. Are you able to help her out? Raven says hello to Susan. Susan says hi to nature. Yeah, so, as I said, several years ago, I drew that line. And for me, it was, I truly want to express my life through the principles of A Course in Miracles, which is turning everything over to what the Course calls the Holy Spirit. But I do keep stressing this. You don't have to call it that. You can say turning it over to my right mind, turning it over to the Tao. Caesar says, hope you're all doing great. We're doing pretty good, my friend. How are you? Maybe I will visit your channel. How's your channel doing? I need to start your, yeah, I apologize. I need to start your watch hours again. And I will. Daisy says, gotta go, Yogi. Take care, everyone. Love to all of you. Love to you too, Daisy. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We're only going to be 10 more minutes. We're going to get an hour in. Big, big shout outs to all the people who participated in the Holy Grail today, regardless of how many reps you got. To toe the line, to step up there and say, I'm going to give it a shot, is huge. Soulstar says, love to you, Daisy. Thank you for being here. So, with 10 more minutes, let me know if anyone would like to do some closing breath work. We don't have to, but I do want to have it as an option if anyone would like to. Simon, if you're still here hanging out, seriously, send me an email. And anytime you want to do breath work. Big Al says it's been a fantastic stream. Thank you, Big Al, and thank you for making it so. All of you guys. Integral is the word that I like. Each of you is integral to making it what it is. Dave's Fitness is here. It says, hi, Eric. Hi, everyone. Hey, Dave's. How are you? Let's bring, as we're bringing channels up, let's bring your channel. You made it to 50 yesterday. And, oh, how did this happen? You dropped to 49. I think you only need to make 50 once, but I could be mistaken. Let's get you back up to 50. Is anyone here not subscribed to Dave's Fitness? I'm going to share your channel on my community page. Dave, give me 1 second. I'm going to have to do it when we're done, when I'm done the live stream, so I can go to my community page, but I will take care of it. Raven says, I'm in. Chris says, yes, sounds great. Big Al says, I'll see y'all later. You're welcome, Yogi. I don't what I did to make the stream any good. Just your presence, Big Al. Hanging out with friends is pretty big. It's pretty big in my book, at least. And everyone here, just hanging out with you, sharing stories, sharing information, sharing insights. Type says, have a fantastic noon. Have a great afternoon, Eric. Thank you, Sniper. Sometimes my eyes see something and my brain says something else, but I got it right. So we're going to do breathing in for 6 through the nose, making that Ujjayi breath. And we're going to breathe out through the nose for 6. Very simple breath. This is a little more parasympathetically breathing because we're extending the exhale as well as the inhalation. So it's a relaxing breath, but at the same time, it's not as deep as if we were to do the 4 and 6, or the 6 and 8, or the 6 and 12. Just enough. As it's early in the day, still for a lot of us, we want to be relaxed, responsive, but still have just enough of that wakefulness to get stuff done. So, for those who wish to do some breath work, just go ahead and close your eyes. I'll be out of the chat for about 3 minutes. We're going to do 10 rounds. Remember the Ujjayi breath. It's that ha sound. Breathing in with a, breathing out with a. This allows us to extend our breath easily and more naturally. So we're breathing in a very soft manner for count of 6. There's a slight pause. We breathe out as if we're releasing air from a balloon. Just a little bit at a time, a little bit at a time. Steady stream. We're not allowing it to rush out. So that ocean's breath helps us do that. It also tones the vagal nerve, which is one of the most important nerves in the body. It enables us to swing from those high levels of stress during that fight or flight back to a relaxed and responsive manner. So this is a perfect breath to thread that line between the two. Our eyes are closed and we just notice our breath. Notice the breath at the tip of the nose. Breathing in, feeling the air lightly pass through. Breathing out. Feeling the air as it gently leaves the nostrils. Breathing in, breathing out. Body's relaxed. Brain is calm. peace. We're going to breathe in for a count of 6. Exhale for 6 through the nose with that ocean's breath. Breathe in lightly once and exhale. And on this breath, we begin with a count of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Out for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathing in for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Last breath for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let the breath go. Keep the eyes closed for just a moment. Just allow yourself to stay in this peaceful spot that you created using your breath. Staying relaxed. Knowing that you will carry this relaxation, this responsiveness with you for the rest of the day. And when you're ready, open your eyes. I will see you in the chat. We'll say goodbye. Hey, Phoenix. Dolly, how are you? We were talking about you earlier, Dolly. Dolly says, I missed you so much, everyone. Good morning, beautiful friends. I love you all. We love you too. 20th like. Appreciate that. I was cleaning about dog poop. Great cardio for me. That should be a workout video. I wonder if Jane Fonda ever made a video for that. Phoenix says, laugh and need clean air breath work. Raven says, thank you so much, Yogi. It feels so calm. You're welcome, Raven. It's a beautiful breath. Raven says, slow, Dolly. Susan says, still here, just preparing dinner. But thanks for hanging out, Susan. So, Susan, I'm going to restart your playlist. Anna says, thank you so much, Yogi. You're welcome, Anna. Any live stream, breath work upon request. Hey, is anyone here not subscribed to our friend Dave's Fitness? He is 1 away from being 50 again. As well, if anyone is wondering, is there anything that we can do to help a friend out? If you don't mind watching a playlist for Cat and Jack. Hey, Cat, sometime when you're not so busy, if you could give me an update on your watch hours, so we can note our progress. As well, Selena the Celestial, and Tandra. Susan says, thank you so much. You're welcome. And our friend Susan. Phoenix says, Tandra, watch playlist. Thank you, Phoenix. Tandra hit her 3K. For some reason, her channel's not getting monetized, and YouTube hasn't given her any feedback on what she should do. She did say there was a friend who would watch and make some suggestions. Evan says, when I try to talk to her, she doesn't respond, and it's very difficult. I don't feel like playing games. I just do my own thing. I'm sorry, Evan. Sometimes, though, it's a matter of seeing. They might miss the comment. Cat says 691. Thanks, Cat. All right. Here's my goal. By the end of next week, 1K for Cat and Jack. I think we can make that happen. I like setting goals like that because even if they don't happen, we're pretty darn close to making it happen. Let's see, Phoenix says, Cena got yours and Cat got yours. Thank you, Phoenix. Anna says, hi to Evan. Thank you, Anna. Hey, Leo. Leo says, much love, Yogi. Thousands of burpees done today. The crew showed up. They did show up. Just a couple minutes ago, we gave you guys a shout out. First time with the vest, right, Leo? I know you did it with the vest. I know Dan did it with the vest. What about Chris Crable? Chris was one of the original vest people way back in the day. Phoenix says, hey, Evan, good to see you. It is good to see Evan. I always like when Evan shows up. Evan can sometimes ask the hard questions, which are good. Kat says, thanks, y'all. I'm not watching chat because I'm working, but I'm listening. Love you all. Love you too, Kat. Leo says, yes, sir, 1K with 40 pounds. So did Dan. That's awesome. 1,000 reps. Give me 1 second. Don't go anywhere yet, Leo. Let me break out my calculator. I could probably figure this out. I probably didn't need a calculator, but just to be accurate, and my math is never accurate unless I have a calculator. That is the tonnage, not counting your body weight. Just with 40 pounds on your back, 1,000 reps gives you 40,000 tonnage, 40,000 pounds of weight lifted. 40,000. Fantastic. Well done, Leo. You are an inspiration and a great example because you always invite other people. The journey is not just Leo's. I listened to Leo yesterday, and he was talking about reach out. If you want to lose weight, if you want to get in shape, reach out. He said, I don't care who it is. Reach out and I will help you. Just ask. Didn't ask for anything in return. He just said, reach out to him. Again, Leo's he's an example. Leo says, nice. I'm basically a forklift. Yes, you are basically a forklift. Hey, that's something to brag about, man. 40,000 pounds. Phoenix says, Leo, fantastic. 100. Yeah, he's. Leo says, thank you, Yogi. You're welcome. Not to mention, all the people in the burpee community that you inspired. Willa says, sorry, late. That's okay, Willa. We're actually just getting ready to call it a day in just a minute or two. I hope all is well with you, Willa. If you get an opportunity to stop in this evening, I'd love to hear an update on Rebel. Hey, Jace. Jace says hello. All right, so guys, we got to give it another 5 minutes because Willow and Jace are here. Leo says, way to go, brother. Elite among elites. Willow says, yes, I will. Oh my God. Yes, Rebel. Yes, there's a big, updates later, my friend. Looking forward to hearing it. Leo says, thank you to Phoenix. Phoenix says, hey, Willow. Willow says, hi to Jace. So I kept making the rounds between all of you guys. I try to get to everyone's channel and watch you do your reps. Anna says, hi to Jace. Willow says, hi to all. Phoenix says, Jace said your name and I called you here. As I said, you all definitely inspired. My desktop seems to be slowing down. Willow says, I was late because I was eating, but then I had a quick walk with Yoda. Well, that's understood. Priorities. Willa says, sending love and prayers and hugs to all. And you as well, Willa. All right. With that, guys, we're going to close down the live stream for the afternoon. I'll be back regular time, 5:25. If you're around and you want, come on by. We'll continue the conversation. Willa says, thanks, Yogi. You're welcome, Willa. And this was today, it felt like a very meaningful conversation that we all had. Thank you. Thank you for joining me. Thank you, Jace. Jace says, much love, the Burpee family. As Leo said, when he came in, the Burpee family showed up. Will says, bye all. Sorry I was late. I will give you an update about Rebel later today, my friend. Looking forward to it. Willis says, y'all matter and are loved so much. Thank you, Dolly. Raven says, bye, everyone. Stay safe. You too, my friend. Thank you again, Jace. I will see everyone again later. Burpee friends, get some rest. You deserve it. Big reps all the way around. Well, Jace says I'm going to have my neck looked at. Still numb. Is it gonna be a chiropractor or Raven says thank you for the breath work. You're welcome, Raven. Phoenix says please don't forget to leave a comment after each and every live or premiere. Our support doesn't end at the end of the show. Thank you, Phoenix. Phoenix, what an awesome support channel. And that's truly, truly what she is. In many ways. I don't know if she knows exactly how deep that support goes. What you offer to everyone, Phoenix. If you don't know, I hope that I can serve as a reminder to let you know. with that, I love you guys. Jace, Phoenix says, pinch nerve. Anna sending a prayer to Jace. Jace has mentioned before he was in an accident several years ago. Jace says, Zally, I think so. Thank you, Susan. Let us know how you feel, Jace. Get some rest, my friend. Guys, I'm going to see you all later. Love to you all. Jace says, meow. He's talking to you. You got to say something back? She looked at me blankly and wagged her tail. Sometimes that's the best that I get. Chris is sending love. Thank you, Chris. Jace sends some love back to Chris. Phoenix says, praying, go fix that. Keep posted, please. Absolutely. Thank you for that, Phoenix. Prayers, Jace. Love you guys.